people have no idea how lucky you are. When I'm gone, you're all going to be broke. Your business model is going to be finished. No, it's true. When I'm not around, you're going to be broke. There's not going to be anybody to report on. Nobody gives a damn about anybody else. Tonight, to show just how much I care about the press, and I want to save your ratings, I'm pleased to announce my intention to, and this is somewhat of a scoop, my intention to run for a fourth term as President of the United States. I will be doing that. I will be having an official, in fact, I think I have, I won 3 times. Now I'm going to do it again. Thank you. I'm going to do it. Should be easy. I'm getting very good at running for president. No, I won 3 times, did very well the second time, by the way. It's a rigged election, but we don't have to talk about it.
Welcome back to From Rumor to Reality with your host, Darlene Brugger. Today's topic is Mr. Donald Trump. Let's get this started. Welcome back, my loves.
You think Trump will get a 3rd term? Isn't that constitutionally illegal?
Trump getting a 3rd term is not illegal. So let me explain the loophole. What Trump could do is this, okay? There are 2 possibilities. The first possibility is in 2028, he has his son, Don Jr., run as the president, and he runs as the vice president. And then when Don Jr. wins, if he wins, then Don Jr. could abdicate and Trump would be the president. And in the Constitution, if you read the Constitution very carefully, it doesn't actually prohibit people from doing that. It's not been done in the past. And like no sane person with any morality would do this. But that doesn't stop Trump from doing this, okay? That's one possibility. Another possibility is that by 2028, America is at war with everyone. There's a national draft. The president now has emergency war powers. And so he can actually suspend the Constitution and delay the election, which is what Zelensky did in Ukraine. So these are 2 different possibilities. But I think that given Trump's track record, given his personality, I think he very much wants a 3rd term. And I think that he will do everything possible to get a 3rd term.
Eligible men in the U.S. will soon be automatically registered for the military draft. Right now, any man aged 18 to 26 is required to register through the Selective Service System online or at the DMV. But starting in December of this year, that all changes. Lawmakers say the move was made to streamline the process and to save money, but not every lawmaker.
Term. So I do want to say that despite the president's announcement, President Trump is ineligible to run for a 3rd term as the Constitution currently stands.
People have no idea how lucky you are. When I'm gone, you're all going to be broke. Your business model is going to be finished. No, it's true. When I'm not around, you're going to be broke. There's not going to be anybody to report on. Nobody gives a damn about anybody else. The New York Times the other day had 5 stories about me. You know, before I got into politics, in my whole life, I had 7 front-page stories. This is years of success. I think 6 were good, 1 was bad. I had 5 stories, 7, 5 good. Yeah, I had a total of 7 stories on the front page of the New York Times. That's not bad. Now I average about 3 or 4 a day. All different topics, all bad, everything bad. But here we are. I mean, here we are. In fact, when I'm finished, I'm going right back to the Oval Office. So I have to be doing okay. But we are all doing good together. That's why tonight, to show just how much I care about the press, and I want to save your ratings, I'm pleased to announce my intention to, and this is somewhat of a scoop, my intention to run for a 4th term as President of the United States. I will be doing that. I will be having an official, in fact, I think I have, I won 3 times. Now I'm going to do it again. Thank you. I'm going to do it. Should be easy. I'm getting very good at running for president. No, I won 3 times, did very well the second time, by the way. Vote just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed, it'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm not Christian. I love you. Get out. You got to get out and vote. In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good you're not going to have to vote. But I said to the Christians in the room, thousands of them, I said, typically Christians do not vote. Why it is, I don't know. You're rebellious. Something's going on. Don't worry about the future. You have to vote on November 5th. After that, you don't have to worry about voting anymore. I don't care, because we're going to fix it. The country will be fixed, and we won't even need your vote anymore, because frankly, we will have such love. If you don't want to vote anymore, that's okay.
So if you're curious, what is the Selective Service System? It's the military draft, and it was established back in 1917 by President Woodrow Wilson after the U.S. entered World War I. So that puts some things into perspective for you as to where this stands. And if we're calling this back, it must mean this is some serious stuff to our government. Under federal law, most men between 18 and 25 are required to register with the Selective Service System in case Congress and the President authorize a military draft. So right now, though, they have to self-register within 30 days of their 18th birthday, but they're allowed to register late without penalty until they turn 26. So that's been the sort of workaround here, if you think about it that way. Failure to register is considered a crime that could disqualify you from student loans, most federal jobs, and U.S. citizenship for immigrants. Stars and Stripes report.
In early March, White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt did not rule out President Trump reinstating the draft itself. She was questioned by Fox News host Maria Bartiromo.
Mothers out there are worried that we're going to have a draft, that they're going to see their sons get in and daughters get involved in this. What do you want to say about the president's plans for troops on the ground? As we know, it's been largely an air campaign up until now. It has been, and it will continue to be, and President Trump wisely does not remove options off of the table.
We're joined now by Edward Hasbrouck, organizer of the Anti-Draft Coalition, which opposes the plan for automatic registrations, calling for repeal of the Military Selective Service Act. Editor and publisher of Resistors.info. He is a member of the War Resisters League and the Military Law Task Force of the National Lawyers Guild. His recent piece for Responsible Statecraft is headlined, "Even if Team Trump wanted a military draft would be a fiasco," unquote. In the 1980s, Hasbrouck publicly refused to register for the draft and spent 6 months in prison.
And even more importantly, it will continue to prop up the myth that the draft is available as a fallback, which in turn enables continued planning for larger, longer wars without war planners having to think about whether enough people would be willing to fight them.
But this is military focused. This goes under this ordinance that the Trump administration is trying to do, puts people in a military registry under the leadership of Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. So this is the big issue. So for the NDA that happened in December, I voted against it. I would vote against this as well.
So, Congressman, Congress has to approve a draft. We have heard rumblings on Capitol Hill about instating one. Do you think it would get bipartisan congressional approval?
Oh, absolutely not. There's been a purge of our leadership in the United States Armed Services. The Armed Services has been really the gold standard, if you will, for civic and corporate and racial relations. People know that when they go there, they can get a fair shake, they get an opportunity. And so they've done a great job in creating their diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. They've promoted people and generals across race and across gender in an equitable fashion. And we've come so far in very little time. I was still serving the United States Congress with the first female graduate of the Citadel, and Congresswoman Nancy Mace. And it wasn't until the year 2011 that women even had a restroom off of the floor in the rotunda where we can vote in the United States Capitol. And so now that you're looking at the military being 20% female and you're gutting the programs of diversity, equity, and inclusion, that let me see. Now that they're cutting the programs of diversity, equity, and inclusion, they're going to have a lesser talent pool. So I was the first person in the Congress to ask for Secretary Pete Hegseth to resign, and I will ask for it again.
Okay, Congressman, I want to get to a couple more questions for you because we're running out of time here. But on the issue of a ceasefire, many critics say Congress has essentially been sidelined.
During the earliest years of their children's lives. Second, we are cutting unnecessary red tape that forced providers to close, limited access to care, and made it harder for women.
American workers and American farmers have been ripped off. They've been ripped off, and what he's saying is we want to have a trade with the world.
For leasing another 13.1 million acres that people can bid on in our country on public land, and this is land that was set aside. This is not national parks, it's not wilderness area, it's not our wildlife refuges. This is public land that was set aside for the benefit and use of the American people, including energy development, making sure that we've got affordable, reliable energy.
This is not our money.
St. Marco Rubio denied ever seeing the president sleep. He never sees him sleep.
He's like, I'll be right back, guys. Grandpa has to take a little nap.